Welcome to the channel. This is Vocab Waves.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Vocab Waves. This is the podcast where we help you learn English with real-world conversations. We want you to learn English through this podcast, but professionally and wisely. We speak slowly and clearly, so you can listen carefully, understand everything, and learn fast. I'm your host, Adam, and today I am very happy to welcome back a special guest who you all know and love. Please welcome back, Sara. Sara, it is so wonderful to have you here again.
Thank you so much, Adam. It is always a joy to be back on Vocab Waves. I love our listeners, and I am very excited to help everyone practice their English listening skills today, even though we are talking about a very serious subject.
Yes, today's topic is heavier than usual, but it is very important. We are going to talk about the current world news. Specifically, we are discussing the energy crisis that is happening right now because of the war between the USA, Israel, and Iran.
That is right, Adam. An energy crisis is a situation where countries do not have enough fuel, or the fuel becomes much too expensive. Today, we will explain why this is happening, the sad reasons behind the war, and most importantly, why everyday people should not panic about petrol and diesel.
Let us start by understanding how this situation began. To understand the news, we need to look at the actions of the countries involved. Many international observers and news reports state that the USA and Israel carried out their sudden attacks through deception.
Yes. Deception is a very important vocabulary word today. Deception means hiding the truth or tricking someone to gain an advantage. Reports show that strikes were launched while diplomatic peace talks were still happening.
Exactly. Because of this deception, many people feel that Iran was forcefully pushed into this war. They were pushed into a terrible conflict without any fair reason. And because of these actions by the USA and Israel, the whole world has been put in trouble.
It is a very difficult situation, and Adam, the most heartbreaking part of any war is what happens to normal, everyday people, the citizens who just want to live their lives.
You are absolutely right, Sara. The human cost is devastating. On the very first day of the strikes carried out by the USA and Israel, there were terrible tragedies. For example, there were innocent schoolgirls who were tragically killed in the attacks.
It is so incredibly sad to think about. Innocent means someone who has done nothing wrong. These young students were just going about their day. It is a harsh reminder of why war is so terrible and why the world must always work towards peace and understanding.
It truly is a tragedy. And the effects of this war are now spreading across the entire globe. Because these nations are fighting, regular people in many different countries are now struggling. To struggle means to have a very difficult time surviving or paying for things.
This brings us to the energy crisis. The Middle East is a region that supplies a massive amount of the world's oil and gas. When a major war happens there, the supply of oil is disrupted. Disrupt means to interrupt or stop something from working normally.
Yes. When the oil supply is disrupted, the prices of petrol and diesel go up very fast. And it is not just about driving your personal car. Trucks use diesel to deliver food to the supermarkets. Ships use fuel to transport medicine and clothes.
Exactly. So when fuel becomes expensive, everything else becomes expensive too. Food, electricity, clothing, the price of everything goes up. This makes daily life very hard for normal, hard-working families all over the world.
Because the news is so scary and prices are going up, many people are starting to panic. But Sara, we want to tell our listeners today why they should not panic about petrol and diesel.
That is correct. To panic means to feel sudden, uncontrollable fear that makes you act without thinking. Right now, we see people rushing to gas stations, buying extra petrol and filling up plastic bags and bottles. They are afraid the fuel will completely disappear.
But panicking actually makes the problem much worse. When everyone tries to buy extra fuel on the exact same day, it creates a fake shortage. A shortage means there is not enough of something. The gas stations run out of fuel simply because people are buying too much out of fear, not because the country has no oil left.
Yes, it is important to remember that governments and energy companies have reserves. A reserve is a large, hidden supply of oil saved specifically for emergencies like this. The fuel will not just disappear overnight.
So, instead of panicking, we need to be smart and calm. We can make wise choices. For example, we can use public transportation like trains and buses, or we can share a car ride to work with our friends or neighbors.
That is a great idea. Sharing a ride saves petrol, saves money, and reduces stress. So, to all our listeners, do not let the news make you panic. Stay informed, take deep breaths, and use your resources wisely.
That is wonderful advice, Sarah. Before we end today's episode, let us quickly review some of the professional English vocabulary words we learned today.
I would love to. First, we learned deception, which means hiding the truth or tricking someone. Then we learned innocent, meaning someone who has done nothing wrong. We also talked about disrupt, to stop something from working normally. And finally, panic, sudden, uncontrollable fear.
Perfect! Listening to this podcast a few times and repeating those words out loud will really help you sound more professional in English. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today and discussing such a serious topic with so much wisdom.